Hey, welcome back to your weekly Gacha Recap, a video series where I go over the latest news, pre-registrations, test phases, new releases, juicy drama, everything that happened in the Gacha genre over the course of the last month in one easy to digest format. If this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you're made up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. Now we have a lot to talk about, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. Let's start this off with Gacha games that announced that they were shutting down, beginning with Onge Relink. Onge Relink announced that they are ending service on October 8th, 2024. This is a game that I did a dedicated video on and I said was absolute garbage, so this is really no surprise to me. I don't think anyone really is going to miss this game except for like the 3 people that disagreed with me in my video. Artery Gear Fusion announced that they are shutting down, which was actually kind of shocking because this is the game that I did actually enjoy when it released at the time. I went back into recently and it was still relatively decent. The game will be shutting down on November 12th, 2024. Harry Potter Magic Awakened announced they're officially closing in America, Europe, and Oceania on October 29th, 2024, to the surprise of nobody. I don't think this ever really achieved any kind of success whatsoever. I know the game launched and then just kind of disappeared into obscurity. And it's no wonder why. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius announced that they are going to be ending their service as of October 30th, 2024. This game has been online since it launched in June 2016, so 8 entire years. This is absolutely crazy because I knew a lot of people that really enjoyed Brave Exvius. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp has announced that they are ending service as of November 28, 2024. I still don't know what this is, but it's apparently some kind of app related to Animal Crossing. Black Stella Ptolemaea announced they are ending service after just 10 months of being online. This is a game that I did a video on where I exclaimed my excitement because I thought it could be really cool. I loved the aesthetic, and then it's just dead. It never released over here, and it died over in Asia. But I mean, you know what? What can you do? This is just another failed Japanese gacha game, right? Like the vast majority of them. Brave 9 announced that as of December 2024, they are completely shutting down the current version of their game, but they are going to transition into a new version that is available completely offline that allows for players to play everything that they have already played through, continue to revisit past chapters, past battles, re-look at your current characters, revel in everything that you have achieved. There just won't be anything additional moving into the future, and you'll just be able to kind of like log in and, I don't know, do things you've done before if you really like the game that much and don't want to play something else. Next, we're moving into gacha games that released, beginning with the 7 Deadly Sins Idle Adventure, which releases a couple weeks ago. I don't know a single person that's played this. I haven't played this. I haven't heard anyone even talk about this, but apparently it launched. Cat Fantasy launched just a couple weeks ago. I did a dedicated video on this, a full review of the game just a few days ago. If you're interested in playing it, I urge you to go ahead and check that out. Hoyan released on August 28th. Hoyan is, for those of you that know who NCSoft is, a gacha MMO adaptation of Blade and Soul, but set in like an alternate timeline. Honestly, not a bad cross-platform game. The Legend of Heroes Gagarv trilogy has officially launched globally. I would really love to get into Legend of Heroes games. I know a friend of mine, Legions, absolutely loves them, but I just can't for the life of me, given there are dozens of entries in this series. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal, and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. Next, we're moving into gacha games which were confirmed to be releasing in the very near future, beginning with Reverse Blue X Rebirth End. Yes, as I repeatedly point out, that is a real name. For whatever reason, thank you, Japan, for coming up with the most absurd names for video games ever. This game is set to launch on September 24th, which is literally like 3 weeks from now. Dragon Raja Castle's Gate released a brand new trailer for a public beta announcement with a launch on September 12th, which is a little over a week from now. If any of you actually like Dragon Raja, Guilong Chao, or Returning Dragon Tides, which is a gacha game that I have promoted before because it actually does look very cool, announced they are officially at least scheduled to release on September 13th, which is very close. Now we're moving into pre-registrations that are now available, beginning with Fellow Moon, which is opened pre-registration and is also expected to launch by December 31st. This is a placeholder date, so it could be at any point between now and the 31st of December. Next, Eddie Chronicle is open pre-registration for their Japanese servers. I think this is like a Japanese relaunch of a previous version of the game. I'm not entirely sure. Jujutsu Kaisen Phantom Parade opened pre-registration for global with an estimated release date of December 5th. Again, this is also a placeholder date like they always are. Starseed Asnia Trigger has opened global pre-registrations. I've also done a dedicated video on this. This was a surprisingly interesting game due to how lewd, how degenerate the game ultimately was. Infinity Nikke is open pre-registration on Android and iOS. I think I want to state that the game should be releasing by the 31st of December. They've also opened recruitment for a reunion playtest on PC and mobile for those of you that are interested in participating. Ash Echoes has opened closed beta test recruitment for the global version of their game, which should be very interesting. Night Archives opened a test server. I'm not sure if this is still open, but they did hold, or were planning on holding a test phase as of the last couple weeks. Next, we're moving into game announcements, beginning with Breakers Unlock the World, which has been relatively silent for God knows how long, over a year now. They released a brand new 47-second trailer that showcased absolutely nothing other than all the characters grouped together in an airship and then jumping out without parachutes. That's gonna work out great for them. Arknights Endfield appeared at Gamescom and PAX West 2024. Players got to go to the booths, get a bunch of merch. They got to try out the game firsthand. Lots of people had a lot of fun, but more importantly than that, Arknights Endfield obtained publishing rights with an expected release date of August 30, 2025, meaning Enfield will launch before then. This is big news. Wuthering Waves is going to be appearing at the Tokyo Game Show 2024, where they're likely either going to preview patch 1.3, patch 1.4, patch 2.0, maybe upcoming characters, maybe the console version of the game. Duet Night Abyss is also going to be participating in the Tokyo Game Show 2024. Maybe they'll announce a new test phase. Maybe we'll get, I don't know, a global release date. Maybe they'll showcase a new trailer with new gameplay, with new mechanics, new areas. That'd be awesome. Neverness to Everness released this little newspaper-like article that, you know, exists, but I mean, they're at least trying to do something interesting, so they're not completely silent like Project Mugen. Nikke is holding their Evangelion collab. It began about a week and a half ago, and it's running through another couple weeks. This is a big collab. These characters look fantastic in Nikke. Unfortunately, I haven't rolled for any of them because I just don't really care about them. I was happy with my 2B and A2. Azure Lane previewed their brand new 3D game mode. I have a video of that on my Stix Clipx channel, but oh boy, that was something else. This is, with how degenerate Azure Lane is, this is gonna be quite the game mode. Speaking of interesting game modes, Girls Frontline 2 is adding a Nikke-inspired minigame, which is somewhat appealing to, or gonna at least be for a lot of people. Project KV is a brand new upcoming gacha game from the lead writer of Blue Archive, along with several of the staff members that worked on it, with a very similar setting, a very similar style. I have a dedicated video on this with what was at least known about a week ago, but new information has arisen, and I do plan on covering that in a future video as well, so stay on the lookout for that. Hoyo, along with various other studios, I think some of which were like Hypergriff, Yostar, are building what they are referring to as a Shanghai Akibahara, which is an entirely new district, a 1 kilometer city block that is encompassing their headquarters, making it into what is going to be the hub for gacha gaming and anime and otaku in the country, maybe even worldwide. Speaking of Hoyo and then subsequently Genshin Impact is going to be available on the Xbox. Yes, finally. I don't know what's happening with Sony's exclusivity deal with Genshin, but I mean, at the very least, Genshin Impact is theoretically releasing onto the Xbox after all this time. Still no word on the Switch, though. Hey, you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are going to be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.